Okay, welcome to our 12th Sync to the Whales event. It's December 22nd of 2023, and the world has been quite active lately, if you have noticed. There's been a lot going on. So our presence and even the title of this event kind of counteracts that energy out there into the stillness of the presence of the being. So we're gonna see what comes out of it. I don't know, I don't always share this, but they many times give me the title and they don't tell me everything that this title is gonna be about. So to me, it's almost like you're giving me a puzzle, and as the event is happening, this puzzle is coming together. So the stillness of presence is the puzzle for today. You are bringing your piece to this puzzle. You're bringing your voice, your heart, and your energy. And it's always fun to see where you guys are from. So we have people from all over. I was already reading before I started recording, but we had people from Netherlands and Slovenia, Slovakia, Czech Republic, all the different states within the states and Australia. And I'm seeing now we have somebody from Ukraine as well. Hello to Ukraine and Belgium and Florida and Italy and so many places. So I'm really, really grateful and excited to have so many of us join to create this sense of embracing the world. So this is always my intention, is to create this sense of a grid that embraces the world, just like the whale songs do. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the screen on. My name is Jan. For those of you that haven't met me before, we have Marie translating into Czech. And for all of you from Czech Republic that would like to interpretation, I'm gonna show the slide right now. Okay, so down at the bottom, you can click on interpretation and you're gonna hear Marie translating. Okay. And as always, we start with aligning our energies. We start with bringing our attention inwards first. So then all of our words, all of our thoughts, all of our energies are aligned to the collective field, to the whales and everything we're going to do together. Okay. Okay. The music is not being heard anymore. Yeah, I stopped the music. Okay. Oh wow, we have even people from India and France. Beautiful. Okay, so if you're ready, we're gonna start with first the slide. So these two people, I just want to share a story how this meditation came about. So the person on the right, her name is Norma. And for many years ago, she first came into my life. And she was teaching a beautiful breath into the belly. And through this breath, the invitation for your soul to be present with you. And this is going to be the beginning part of today's meditation. So in a way, Norma and her beautiful presence, she's on the other side now. She would always invite the Kuan Yin or the Divine Feminine to breathe with you. And then through this breath, to invite the integration of your soul and different parts of your divinity. So when I was preparing this event, I was breathing like this, and then this whale came. And this is the fun part, and this is what this picture is about. So it's almost like when you have if you have a dog, the way that sometimes the dog comes and puts his head into your lap, and then it looks at you with the big dog eyes, and those eyes are full of love. In a way, if whale's head was small enough, this is how it came, but because it's so big, it kind of put its head energetically into my lap, and it didn't, you can see, it doesn't, from the picture, it doesn't really fit into a human lap. But energetically, this is what happened. So I wanted to bring that in because I want you to experience that shift in the energy when you're breathing consciously, when you're inviting your soul in, and then a whale comes and puts his or her head into your lap energetically. So this is an introduction, and now we're gonna go into experience of that. Ah. So I want to just thank each and every one of you for being here, for bringing your beautiful presence and your beautiful light into this space. And as we gently close our eyes, you can gently touch your heart with your hand, just bringing the attention onto your chest, onto your heart. And we're gonna share this deep breath together now. And with the exhale, we're gonna say thank you. And relax into the body. And now we're gonna allow the exhale to simply melt whatever attention, whatever thoughts are turned outwards. So when you bring in a deep breath in, your exhale allows you to melt the outside and sink deeper inwards. And to invite this breath to travel even further down, we're gonna now put the other hand, the left hand, on your belly. And see if you can notice your left hand raising with the inhale, and coming back down with the exhale. Now I'm gonna invite the Divine Feminine in whatever form is comfortable for you. For some of you, it's Isis or Kuan Yin. For others, it's Mary, and for others, it's simply the goddess, the feminine. I'm going to invite the feminine now to merge her hand with your left hand. So when your breath pushes, and fills with the in-breath, it's the compassion of the divine feminine that holds you and that receives your breath. And feel this compassion as a beautiful energy of safe space, of integration. This safe space that invites you to be fully present, fully here. And this invitation includes your soul, your higher self. So join this invitation by saying, I invite my soul in with the inhale. And relaxing into the safe embrace of the feminine with the exhale. And you can say, I am present with the inhale. And I am safe with the exhale. And now feel the presence of Gaia within that safe space. As when you're present, that means you're fully here on this planet. And you might feel your breath extending down even further than your belly, down into the earth. As you relax with feeling safe. . Mm. Now we invite the whale to join us. And if that's easier, you can see it coming from a good distance first. And remember to keep breathing deep down as the whale approaches. And you're going to notice that your breath responds as the whale is coming closer and closer. The whale's presence might encourage your breath to become even bigger. And then when the whale comes very near you, touching your energy field, it simply stops and becomes a presence of stillness. And make sure your breath is taking it all in. And out of this invitation, out of this stillness, feel the presence of the whale, greeting the presence of your soul, of your being. Acknowledging your dedication, your commitment to bring in that presence here. And really notice this feeling of how it feels to be in this stillness. Have your body remember it. Have it become a part of who you are. So whenever you feel that There's too much going on. Just one touch of the belly, just one breath. And bring this feeling, this energy into your now moment. And you can remember the in breath, I am present. And the out breath, I am safe. So now I want you to just express your gratitude and thank you to the whale. And you gently bring the attention back up into your heart. And we're just gonna let this energy integrate within the heart as well. And saying thank you in the heart as well. And then we're gently gonna bring our attention to our face, knowing then in a moment we're gonna bring our attention more outwards. You can gently move your body. And if you need to, you can warm your hands up and rub your face. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Mm. Welcome back. Ah, we had more people join us now. Hope all of you joining were able to experience the meditation and the stillness of presence. And the invitation is also to keep this energy now. So even though we go into talking and maybe being in a more outwardly state with our eyes open, you can take a moment and just return to your breath whenever you'd like to. Okay. Before I bring Maya on, I just wanted to share this picture and invite you. 2 years ago, we did a whale dreaming workshop. And I just wanted to invite you. We're gonna incorporate whale dreaming into a next online workshop when it's coming. And you're gonna get an email about that. But I just wanted to share that from this space of whale's presence, it's a beautiful thing to co-create your next year, the potentials to open up to higher guidance. And a beautiful way to do that is to let this energy of the whales guide you into the pineal and have your pineal join into this whale grid, the quantum grid of the whales, where the whale songs represent the dreaming of humanity, the dreaming of our visions, the dreaming of our potentials. And of course, there's the Akash there's the different past, but there's also the different potentials for the future. So that's a beautiful way to go into dreaming the year that's coming, dreaming your highest manifestation of your being here on this planet. So this picture is, this spiral is like bringing the attention into the pineal of the whale. So part of my whale dreaming are the retreats that we're doing in different parts of the world. So I just wanted to share where we're gonna go next year. This first retreat is now full in Baja, but you know, the energies can shift, so you're welcome to join the wait list, the whale list, yeah. We'll be there in March, and this is such an amazing place. You can read more about this retreat online. It's really a big, big honor. I feel grateful to just enter their space of the whale heart there. It's such an amazing place. Whales come out, put their heads out, and you're able to touch them there. And so this experience that we had in the meditation of a whale head resting in your lap, it kind of happens in the physical there. Returning back to Egypt as well to swim with dolphins there. This first retreat, I made an English flyer. We're making a group for Slovenians first with Anna Maria, and we're gonna open it up to international as well. Anna Maria already has information on her website. I'm still adding more on my website. And here's a surprise for the next year. We're gonna go see belugas in August. And I'm still confirming all the details about that, but I wanted to share it. Belugas have been in my field for 2 years now, and this year they're really coming through, and I am really, really excited to be able to. Snorkel has a little star next to it because you lie on a pad that the boat is pulling behind, and you put your mask in the water with belugas, but you're not officially allowed to swim with them. So this is the closest to swimming with them that you can experience. And then, of course, we're returning to Moorea to swim with humpback whales there. And that's going to be at the end of September. All right, so if you would like to join us, this is, you know, my biggest passion really is to be with real people where I can actually see you and hug you, and to have this continuous, very, how would I say that? You really can go deep when you're with whales for 9 days and you're on the boat almost every day. It really allows you to go into this field, into their energy, to such a deep, deep layer and such a deep experience. And to me, that's such a passion, seeing people light up and seeing people shift and receiving so many personal messages and gifts and transformations. I just absolutely adore my work, my job. So feel free to check more on the website. And now I'm gonna find Maja from the participants, and I'll just quickly introduce her. So she's a devotional embodiment guide and source codes keeper, an organic timeline keeper and grid worker. And you can find more about her on majametlicar.com. She actually has a beautiful free event as well. She just did maybe a month ago, where she talks more about the source codes and the grids. And I'm going to put a link to that. I felt that's a great introduction to her work. So with the recording, I'm going to send that link as well. All right. So now just give me a second. I'm gonna find Maja here on the list, and then she's gonna join us with her video and her sound. And we met Maja. I think Maja is just Maja. Let's see. Do we have more than one Maja here? Okay, there is one Maja. Let's hope that's the right one. Okay. Okay, so as we're waiting for Maja to rejoin us, um, I just wanted to share also how, wait, oh, I'm doing the wrong Maja. Hmm. Okay, let me find her again. Maja M. Why isn't she on the list? Oh, here you are. Sorry, the wrong Maja. Okay. So we met with Maja through Gaia, and there's so many synchronicities involved in how we came together. Sometimes life really pulls you from different places around the world and brings you together. So Kaya was in Mount Shasta, we were in New Mexico. We needed somebody to bring our car from Oregon to New Mexico, and we didn't know each other with Kaya, but I saw on Facebook that she's traveling. So I texted her and I said, "Hey, would you want to travel for extra 2 or 3 weeks and bring our car across United States to New Mexico?" And she said, yes. So that's how we met. And okay, Maya, do we hear you?
Yes.
All right.
Hi.
Hi, welcome. So,
So to be here with you.
yay. So we want to tell everybody that it's 4 in the morning or 4:30 in Bali.
Yeah.
And Maya was so great saying she will get up to be with us at 4:30. So thank you, Maya. And I'm really, really happy to have you here. Ah, and my camera went out. Here, let me change to the other camera.
Well, I'm very happy to
Okay.
be here. Thank you for having me.
Ah, so Maya, I love the words devotional embodiment. And I wanted to just start with you saying, what does that mean to you? How would you describe it?
Yeah. For me, devotional embodiment means calling into your body everything that you are on all levels of your existence and becoming a living channel of source or of that higher aspects of you, and then bringing that into your body, into this world, into your everyday life, really. Yeah, that's a short description. And maybe, you know, what people would resonate even more with, for me, devotional embodiment is living your soul mission. But that means for me being here and now who you truly are. That, as simple as that. Simple. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's very simple and there's, there can be many steps or a simple breath, depends on how you want to see it. And I love how, the energy always reflects the guest. So when I choose, what the flyer is going to be and how that's going to look like, and even the words, the stillness of presence, even though that was my attempt to describe the whale and how it came to me and put its head into my lap. I felt like there's a lot of you in that as well. So I love how the energy reflects that and how you saying yes to being here reflected how the flyer looked and um, that those whales just coming into the light. You know, it just feels like the picture represents what you teach and what you're about. So
Yeah, I love the flyer. And you know what was so interesting, also in connection to what you were saying in the beginning, what the whales showed you or didn't show you about the transmission. I was really, asking them before we came on, can you show me, what I'm supposed to share? And they were just like, no, not showing anything, but just coming, coming in the field and not showing anything. But yesterday or last night, like 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago, they came and they said, you hold our consciousness as well. That was very interesting. Yeah, yeah. And and as you were leading the meditation, something that came in was this vastness of what the whales hold, the vastness of the remembrance for us, and that maybe us humans, sometimes we get scared by that vastness and we go, no, I'm so much smaller, but the whales, my gosh, I really felt them. No, you are this. We are reminders of how big actually you are and what you hold. Yeah, so that was really beautiful.
yeah, there was I think it's on my Morea retreat site. There was I just kind of put down a message from the whales. And it was exactly about this, how we can be like intimidated by how big they are. So many times I remember my first swim with the whales, they were very deep down and I toned to them. So everything we do today kind of, has a beginning maybe 12, 13 years ago. And I already toned to them back then. And this baby came up to us. And as the baby came up, it opened my whole being and everything. And I was crying. It was one of the most beautiful things. But then the mother started to come up as well. And for me, that 10 years ago, it was too much. I felt like as the mother is coming and getting closer and closer, that something in me is just gonna explode and I'm gonna become this little atoms that spread across the whole galaxy and gonna stop existing. So there's this human fear of too much, this human fear of being too big. And so last year when we were in Morea, there was a moment before the group came where I felt my energy lock with the mother and I couldn't even though the baby came up as well, I couldn't even see the baby anymore. So there was this huge shift for me personally when all of a sudden the mother came up and I was able to hold that presence. I was able to breathe with it and completely expand my field into that field. And I was like, whoa, this is great. I went from you're too big, I don't know if I can take you into yes, I can breathe with that, and allow my field, because this is what happens really is your field expands into, in a way, a field of the whales. So you become as big. Your consciousness merges with that. So yeah, the human fears are so interesting, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ah, so there's the invitation for, I feel this is the first invitation, the stillness of presence. Simply stop and allow that presence to come in, because really there is no difference between the presence of your soul and the presence of the whale. And as they come and sit together, you notice that you can't tell the difference at one point. So there's this moment where it's not really, oh, this is my soul and this is the whale, this it becomes really simply the divine. And the divine is there and it's breathing you and you're breathing it.
Mm.
So bringing that back to devotional embodiment, I just feel like this, comes full circle with those words. So this is just beautiful. So if we connect that now to our dear Gaia that brought us together,
Yeah.
I mentioned her, and I like showing her her source code that she did for me. So Gaia is an artist that she channels these beautiful codes and
By the way,
brings them.
she's
Huh?
here sitting next to me. So
Oh, okay, she's hiding. Okay. So, you know, this is her way of showing us it through through the colors, through the art, what the source code is, but it's actually alive. So, when you talk about source codes, you use language a lot. You use light language, you use the words, and you also use your body. So I just wanted you to share a little more about it. So the source codes coming through you, how do you experience them? What do they mean to you? How do you feel like they can, where are they taking us? Like, what would you do? How would you describe it?
mm. Well, so for me, this is something very normal because I've always had it and I wasn't aware of what this is. And at some point, I became aware of source codes. And, it's always interesting when I'm asked to talk about it or describe, because, of course, this goes beyond words. But for me, a simple way of what codes are, they are like seeds, seeds that hold information. And when you receive a key or an activation, which is, what I do through my presence, I activate. And that seed will start sprouting. And how you call this thing will come out, and then it will grow, and a plant will grow, a fruit will grow. These are codes for me. So information, what do I mean by information? It can mean remembrance of what is sovereignty, remembrance of what is freedom, remembrance of what is co-creation, what it means in your body and practically in life. So source codes for me is the information or the essence of this, what I described, for example, sovereignty, freedom, that is completely pure and comes directly from source. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the very original codes of our being, of how we can live our life practically. And then what I do through my presence and with light language and with sharing light codes is I'm just sharing these little keys so that you can activate as well within you the remembrance of that. So that seed can begin sprouting and reawakening, basically, that knowing that each of us holds within us. Yeah. Does
Beautiful.
that make sense?
Thank you. Yes. So the invitation always is to take a deep breath. I always just take a deep breath. And instead of just the mind trying to unpack the words, also the energy to see what's there for me. So I feel for a lot of people that are present today, this is already happening. There's many activators out there. When you're in the presence of whale, there's a lot happening. And I experience it, in a very similar way to what Maya described. There's things in your field that were always there, but we're waiting for the right moment and also the right consciousness from you to open and to release information. And this information is really knowingness about who you are in many different dimensions. And through this knowingness, you get clarity of what you're supposed to be doing here on this planet. So in a way, the grounding part is really important because just remembering something doesn't really bring it here. So the grounding part is where we then need to walk the talk, really, is the part where I always say when you go, to the store and you're paying the cashier, how much of that presence is there? How much of that comes through your eyes, comes through your smile and through your being. So yeah.
And I will add this. I mean, the grounding piece is crucial actually for me. And that's why I talk about devotional embodiment, because I come across so many people who, and I was like this as well, I was deeply in service, but because I had this disconnection from the body, I was not grounded. I was floating more in upper realms, very much connected to the to source energy, but I was not transmitting it fully into the here and now because I was not grounded. And that's the essence for me actually of devotional embodiment. Can I be here and now with the cashier, like you said? Can I be all that I feel I am when I'm meditating, for example? Can I be that when I'm paying the cashier or walking on the street, rushing maybe somewhere because I think I'm late? Can I be that?
Okay, so a question, how did you actually I wanted to ask the same question. So for you personally, how do you then make the transition to more groundedness? Like,
Yeah. Well, so there are a bunch of practices that I do daily, a bunch of embodiment practices, and some are as simple as physical exercise because it brings you into the body. Um, and then others are singing. Singing, for example, is very grounding when you go into it because you need to engage the diaphragm. I never know if I'm pronouncing this word correctly.
diaphragm, yeah.
Yeah, it really pulls you down into the body when you do this. This for me was a big click actually in my embodiment journey. I was taking singing lessons because I was very called to singing, and I never expected that this would become such a big key in my embodiment journey. Because when I was doing these breathing practices, suddenly I felt okay, like my being is pulled down in the body and I am held by the body. My essence is actually held by the body. I am safe. I am safe to be here because I am held. It's okay to drop fully into the body. Yeah, so this was one big one. I mean, there are many practices also, just as you were saying in meditation, I am safe. So for me, one of the mantras when I would get overwhelmed or anxiety, for those of us who feel so much, I bet there are many highly sensitive people here. We sometimes feel so much that you check out of the body. This is what I was doing, just out because it's safer up there in higher realms. So one of the mantras that I was using regularly when I still had this overwhelm and anxiety come over me, I would just put my palms on the lower belly and just breathing in that space and repeating, I'm safe, I'm okay, I choose to be here. So simple, but so powerful.
Yeah, and this is, for all of you connected to the spirit world, this has been the promise for this life, that you can wake up and you'll be safe.
Mm.
So this promise is coming, you know, I know for a lot of us that experienced torture and being burned and killed before for our gifts in previous lifetimes, we have this, how would you call that? Kind of I don't even know the word in English, but where you're like blaming the guides for what happened. So this is some work to actually, if you need to just express that anger, they're fine taking it. They're not gonna be like, he's screaming at us. No, it's okay to express that because, a human part of us is gonna be like, why would I trust you now after so many lives that I was following my, mission and bringing the light in here, and they ended up killing me. So this is the human doubt coming in and saying, why would this life be different? But there is actually a promise saying it actually is. This is a different life. Since 2012 and the shift on the planet, there has been a promise of this planet taking the higher route, and it happens through each one of us. It's not going to happen by itself, but we need to trust the promise. But, you also need to forgive your guidance, yourself, for putting yourself into so many lives of being burnt, so many lives of being, whatever happened to us, all the different things, whatever you can remember, there's a lot of it that happened to the light workers before. So forgiveness and then trust that when you say I'm safe, you're not just trying to, you know, believe it. You actually know that this promise in this life is real.
Yeah, exactly. And in that practice that I described, so when you place your palms on your lower belly and you breathe into that part, actually there comes a tangible feeling. It with time, but actually when you bring yourself in the body and say this, I am safe, the body will hold those words. And something clicked for me when I started doing that. If you just say, I'm safe from somewhere here, it just doesn't have that holding power of that promise. I love that, how you described it. Yeah. And just one thing that I wanted to add to what you were saying to the forgiveness piece, forgiving yourself as well for failing to complete the mission in past lives. I came across so many people that have this. I failed in my mission and now I need to do it. And then putting so much pressure on
Mm,
yourself. Yeah. So
yeah.
forgiveness, you didn't fail anything. There is a divine design. It's all running perfectly. We designed it like this. It was, this is how it is and it's okay. And now we are here. And all you need to do is relax, actually. Relax and drop into the body. and then you will know what to do.
So speaking of the mission, for me, doing what you feel is your passion here is very grounding as well. For me, yeah, 10, 15 years, I would never be relaxed doing what I'm doing now. And it kind of step by step guided me into like, well, this is your next step. Are you willing to show yourself a little bit more? Are you willing to step a little bit further into, being here? And for me, if it wasn't for dolphins, I would never do it. Dolphins have this playful, very relaxed way of being with you, and you kind of just go along with that because it's so much fun. And for me, that many times tricked me into like, through playfulness, they tricked me into, facing a fear of first it was like standing in front of, 5 people or 10 people and saying, hey, this is what I do, and then, it kept growing and they keep on like, hey, here it's fun. And I would keep on have to face my fear through living my passion, living what I knew was the next step for me. So I feel through that the grounding happens because your mission here is always calling you into bringing more of yourself here into this world. So finding your passions, finding things that really get you going is, and it can be totally non-spiritual. It doesn't have to be something that's divine. It can be very, some people like knitting or whatever, but what we don't see is there's many steps beyond this first little thing of saying, for me, the first one was like, oh, I like traveling. Where can I go? So not knowing that my whole life would have so many steps connected to that. So finding your passion is such an important part to grounding for me personally, and I believe for everybody. So yeah, and it's unique for each one of us too. So, for some of you, the whole thing comes, and you're like, oh, I know, I got a whole vision of everything. And for others, it might come trickling in as one thought here. But then notice if you're afraid of it, because that's kind of showing you that, if you're not gonna do anything about it, you're not gonna get the next one. You're not gonna get, oh, there's this grand design. It's like, no, you were shown one next step and you need to face that fear and actually step into it. And then you're gonna be shown more. But what we do so many times is we get one idea, one thought, and then we're waiting and we're sitting and we're wanting something grand to come and move us. And it's not. Because what they're saying from the other side is, well, you got the instructions. You need to fulfill first this one first step before you're gonna get more. So yeah,
Yeah, and again, adding here about the embodiment piece. Also, why does it go step by step? I mean, in my experience, because we also need to prepare the body. Like you need to land more and more into the body. And the more you are in the body, the more you are shown, the more light can come through you because your physical vessel can hold that high frequency light. And ultimately us being here in on earth and in the material realm, we are here to be emissaries. We are emissaries of source. We are channels of this light. And the more we are in the body, like really land in the body, the more this light of source, of the divine, however you call it, can radiate into this world through us. Yeah. And do you see that rainbow light reflected on your face?
no, no,
Yeah,
but
here.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Kirsten, my wife likes putting stuff in the window, little prisms that break the light. So, okay. So one of them is breaking onto me now. Okay. Okay. That's fun. So it's like a little playful reminder of bringing the light in all the rainbow ways. Oh, and actually Kirsten is just saying to me in the chat right now, simply eating grounds. So to her, just having a nice good meal is very grounding as well. Yeah. Um, hmm. So coming to the topic of fear, I loved how you mentioned in your event that you did a month ago, how it's not that the fear is not there. The fear is still there, but you simply open your mouth and you share the truth because it has to be expressed. So we're not trying to not be afraid. We're simply knowing that even though I do something crazy, I'm still safe. So even though I show myself, it's gonna be okay. I'm completely safe doing that. So that's such an important part because so many times people think they need to wait for the fear to not be there before they do something.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, it was, for since I was a child, I already had a lot of this information and then more was coming, but there was always this fear. If I show myself, I'm gonna be killed or, something will happen to me. So that was coming, the memory from before. And so for a long time, I was fighting with the fear because I thought exactly this, I need to like get rid of the fear and then I can make the step. And at one point I was like, what if I can do it with the fear? I mean, the fear is talking to me, like it's here, but I can, listen and like, yeah, it's okay. I am scared and I can take the step. Maybe it's a small step to start with. That's fine. Let me try, and I started that with surfing. For me, like I like to connect these things to very practical things in life. So, I love the ocean, obviously. And so surfing for me is one of the ways to connect. But I was very afraid of these big waves that were coming. This was in Portugal. And then so many times I didn't go in the ocean. And one day I was like, well, maybe I can just walk with my surfboard to the ocean, I stretch, and I see how I feel. And then maybe I turn and I go and I come another time if I feel the waves are too big. And then I relaxed, that permission. Okay, like I I can I can take only one step. It doesn't, uh, it's not necessary to jump full in and like, I don't know, this, when we receive the vision, right, of what we are supposed to do, it feels so big and
Mhm.
it feels like it needs to be done like all of it immediately and perfectly. And that's often so freezing because I'm like, yeah, but I can't, I don't know how. So I will just wait that I'm ready. And then you are perpetually waiting. So it's step by step, like you said as well. So, with the fear, I was like, okay, I can turn back. But the relaxation, the permission that I gave to myself was like, okay, let me go in the water. Let me go in, go a few steps. I can still turn back. It's fine. And just that permission opens, opens the path. Yeah. It's okay to go step by step. It's actually better for our nervous system, right?
So I want to bring the attention now to the throat and opening the throat. Um, I said to you before the event, I feel like it would be really good if you can share a little bit about this journey of opening the throat. Because when you say things so many times, I feel like you're just so clear and precise with exactly how you express stuff, but there's not just that, there's the energy that comes from your words and also with your light language and everything else. So that has an energetic background, your journey to open. And I felt it would be so nice because this is a toning choir. If we can just do something with this throat opening today.
Okay, so you mean like practice or what?
Whatever's gonna come up, you can start sharing and we'll see what comes up.
Yeah. Yeah, so as I was sharing earlier, one really key piece for me to opening my throat was tapping into that safety in my body. It's safe to be in my body. This was really key. And I was talking about the diaphragm. Diaphragm? So when I understood, or better, when I felt it in my body, that the diaphragm is holding the air and is actually then bringing the air, the sound up, that is not just gonna drop somewhere. Basically, that was, that was my fear. I realized life is gonna drop me. If I choose to be here, I'm gonna be dropped down and I'm gonna fall somewhere and something's gonna happen. But when I realized that I'm held in the body, and then that, oh, I can rise from that being held. I'm held here in the ground, on earth, in the body. It's safe, there is, and from here I can rise. Then my throat opened, because before there was like a lock here, because I had no grounding. I didn't trust the body. I didn't trust the physical realm. I didn't trust that I was safe. But as I unlocked this code, this key of being safe in the body, and I have here something that holds me and I can rise from there. My throat opened as if my body realized, or I realized, it is safe to allow that expression, that full expression of me to come out. And literally at that time, then the resonances, these pathways in my head opened for the sound. Before they were like closed. But as I relaxed into that, it is safe to be here. I'm actually held and I can rise. The pathways open and throat open. Yeah.
So what do you feel right now as far as bringing that?
Well, so for one, well, I feel a light language transmission already for
Okay.
some time. Before I go into it, just a reminder, I mean, I'm sure everybody here already knows because they're used to your transmissions, that the transmission is already coming. And, I transmit through my presence. So already as I was sharing this, the keys for these are flowing through. So I just invite everyone, I mean, we already did the meditation and you reminded us, to breathe, to just drop in the body, feel your belly. You can place again your palms on your lower belly. And just, yeah, maybe we can do this before the light language transmission. Just a few belly breaths. And saying to yourself, I'm safe. I'm okay. I choose to be here. My body is safe. It is safe to fully drop into my body. And as you are breathing like this, you can go a step further and just feel your sexual organs and relax them. Send the breath there. That part of our body is a big key for embodiment. And again, I am safe. It is safe to be here. It is safe to be fully me. And then as you are breathing, with the next inhale, feel as the air passes through your throat. And continue that. I'm safe. It is safe to express my truth. And establishing that connection between your second chakra, so the part where your sexual organs are, feel the connection to your throat. And taking a few breaths there. And if a contraction comes here in the throat, again, the reminder, I am safe. It is safe to be me. Arashe aia ka te awa, tena ia kashetia akea niata. Tara te ashe kaiana te awi. So just breathing and listening, that's all you need to do. Nothing else, just receiving. Nara kashe ayana ka eyata. Shiraya kawa eya natate. Shia ke arata eya kana. Sheata eya ka eya teawa eya ta. Just keep breathing. Shaya taira na eya kata. Allow this cosmic flow of this beautiful blue light, like in the flyer. Let it flow through your throat, down into your body, anchoring you into the earth, connecting you to the sacred waters. Ashira yana kea wayana, sheia tara ea katea wa sheia. May I be an open channel, an anchored conduit of source and of all that I'm meant to bring into this world, into this life, for the highest good of all. And so it is. Few deeper breaths. And open your eyes.
Mm. Mm. Beautiful. Thank you, Maja.
Mm.
So I feel this adds to the collective choir today, where the open throat, the energy of being safe in the body, and then allowing this expression can enhance our message to the whales. Because today is all about bringing our voice and expressing the energy through our voice. So thank you so much, Maja, for bringing your beautiful presence and sharing who you are and sharing this activation as well. So for me, like I know so many times after I move the throat, the energy also flows. So while you were doing that, at one point I'm like, oh, okay. So there was like in the back that released and then allowed the front to open as well.
Beautiful.
Ah,
Thank you for having me. I mean, it was just amazing to feel everyone and to feel the ocean and the waves. Wow, they were so excited for this. They are so excited.
and I always say to people, whatever you're comfortable with, I like the toning and the sense of choir it creates. But your own unique expression is so important. So for a lot of people, there's going to be light language coming out while we tone. Don't limit it to just the toning. Just because I'm excited about toning doesn't mean you have to do exactly that. So I love that you're coming in with your light language, and who knows, maybe somebody is starting to remember their light language through that as well. So thank you so much. So we're gonna move on now to the last part. Thank you, Maja, again for being with us, and we're gonna share her website and a link to her free event she did a month ago in the recording, in the email that's coming. And sending much love to you in Bali, and have a safe flight tomorrow or the next day. And sending my love to Kaya as well, that's next to you. So if you'd like to find out more about the source codes and everything, you can write to Maya, you can write to Kaya, and we're gonna move on. And I'm just gonna bring the slide back up. So here you can see the spelling of the name again and the website. So just make sure you got that. Let me check. And I just wanted to put this slide back up. I talked a lot about toning before. Today, we don't really have time to talk a lot about it. So I'm just gonna say that we use the sound, the toning sound that you're gonna hear also in the recording, um, to carry the information. So it's not about the sound being perfect. It's about your intention of what you would like to express to the whales to come out through sounds. The whales sing, the whales embrace the planet Earth with their songs, and this is us as humanity, as conscious humanity, connecting back into the grids and singing this song of gratitude, of love for the whales. But you're gonna see that it's not just going one way, it always goes both ways. So as you express something, you're also receiving. The source codes Maya talked about, there's so much that can activate through the whale's presence, through the whale's song, and through your own intent to bring more of yourself here and to express it. So this is, in a way, I see it as a communication between higher dimensional parts of you, really, because I experience whales and dolphins as part of us in higher dimensions. So I wanted to share a video of how this looks on the boat. So these are just different ways of dolphins and whales responding to toning, and energetically there you're gonna have your own experience today. So be very conscious of your inner vision and in what way they come to you. Their messages can come through movement, through telepathy, through the energy, and through activation of the source codes. So just notice that as we do that, there's a response in the energy. And then one more video. This is what inspired the choir. This video, I've showed it before, but it's so cool to watch again. Hey, when it comes to communication, anything is possible. And so this message of humanity given to the whales through the sound, expressing your heart and who you are, and the whales responding. This is what's in behind this event. I believe that we can do it in the quantum way. So what you're about to experience today is all of us from around the world, even for those of you watching the recording, this is all in now moment. So we gather from around the world and create a field of song and a field of heart. And when we express it, the whales can receive that energy. on one level can hear our songs, even if it's not physical. They can feel that we're singing to them. They can feel our love and our appreciation. So we do this in a quantum way, but you'll be able to feel both all of the hundreds of people in this quantum space together with you and the whale's response. So the last thing before we go into the experience is sharing the sound that you're gonna hear in the background, the toning choir from Spain, from Barcelona. Their name is Moon, and they allowed me to use their tracks to create this beautiful background toning experience. So when you hear the toning in the background, that is Moom, and you can find them on moom.net. And please support them with buying their CDs if you can. They also do workshops in Barcelona of toning, and they're next level. I mean, you hear me toning in the videos and stuff, and the dolphins don't care if I'm perfect or not. But Mom is like closest to perfection as far as toning goes. So I love that we can have them bring that beautiful harmony and resonance into our space as well. Okay, and with that, we're gonna now bring the presence into ever expanding life. And this is like a testimony to how you never know where next piece of information is gonna come from. So my daughter loves singing, and she has a friend that plays the violin, and we went to listen to that friend, and it was in a church. And as I'm listening to a violin, and that was just a few days ago, I close my eyes and I just allow the sounds of violin to go into my pineal and just resonate in there. But as that happens, this whole meditation downloads. And I just wanted to share it because I think it was related to, the church having a cross. But then they showed me that this cross, if you put it all the way down under your feet and you see it as simple point of presence, it's almost like, when you're trying to aim at something, it's like a mark, it's like a cross. So I want you to, in the meditation, to feel this mark. It's almost like, you're directing your attention to the exact point where you're grounding. And then we're going to use our hands. And this is something that kind of came through Maya. And as I was listening to her, my hands started to follow. So I want you all to just feel that motion of bringing your fingers together and just expanding out of a point of presence, just a little cross coming out. So just allow your hands to do this motion. And as you feel that, we're now going to close our eyes and we're going to take a deep breath. And we're going to first bring in everything that happened until now into the breath. So we're going to take a deep breath into the belly and allowing all these messages, energies, and codes to integrate through the breath, to where your mind is not thinking about the words anymore. You're simply feeling the energy. And we're going to enhance this by putting your hand back down on your belly and breathing deep down into your belly. And just allow that everything that happened until now kind of melts and becomes a part of you. And then with the next deep breath, just bring your presence fully in. So much has been said about being safe, about being the keeper of the presence. But now what we want from you is real commitment. So with the next inhale, really commit to bring in yourself here, your soul here, your presence into your body. I know it might not always be easy. I know it might take many breaths and many moments where I consciously bring this attention here. But right now, I can commit to doing my best. When I inhale, I invite my presence to come in and I remember it's safe. And now become aware of the space under your feet. Some people call that area where your energy focuses into the ground. Maybe a foot underneath, 30 centimeters down. Some people call it the earth chakra. And other people say this is the center below, center beneath. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna breathe in and direct the breath to go all the way down to this point. See if you can reach it with your inhale. And relax into it with your exhale. And now out of this point, out of this earth chakra, it is time to use your hand and start creating the motion of expanding out. And notice that the image of the cross becomes alive and starts to expand the energy. So feel this becoming an expanding energy that's expanding further and further out. And at the same time, breathe into it and feel it with your presence. Really allow your presence to become a growing light that spreads into the earth. And this symbolizes bringing your presence into life. You're bringing it in. You're allowing it to expand and grow organically. And at one point, you're going to notice that the energy takes over and it grows by itself. It doesn't need your hands anymore. And this then becomes a symbol of an ever expanding life. And with the next deep breath, you can simply say, I am bringing my presence into ever expanding life. And feel how that feels to you. And this then becomes an energetic foundation that supports you, that is there for you, that assists your field as you remember more of who you are. And now I invite you to simply connect all these points from under your feet, connect with your belly, with your heart, with your throat, with your pineal, and all the way up to the soul presence, the chakra of the divine above your head. From this alignment, we're now gonna enter the quantum space of the choir. Your presence is now invited in the circle. And you can see on the quantum levels this circle forming. Whale whisperers from around the world joining in the circle. We're joining our hearts, our intentions, and we're coming with our presence, with our light. And we give the intent for today that out of this presence, may the song be born. And out of my heart, may I express my love and gratitude. And my throat be open to bring through everything I am. And now we're gonna just take 3 deep breaths to join this circle with the circle of the whales. So we invite the whale and the dolphin presence to now come closer, to surround our circle. And we're gonna take 3 deep breaths to join the heart of our circle with the heart of the whales. And you do that by simply breathing deep with the heart of the whales and saying thank you. And when you do that for 3 times, you're gonna notice your heart and the heart of the whale starting to merge. We become part of the grid. And now the moment has come for us to express the song, the light language, the sound of you into this grid. Now just notice your field one more time. Just notice the top of your head, your pineal, your throat, your heart, your belly, and the point of presence under your feet. And just take a deep breath. And allow all the sounds, your song and the song of the whales, to integrate and become part of your breath. Melt into your presence. In a resonance within your field, within your energy. And now we're gonna take 3 deep breaths with the whale heart again and say thank you. And allowing through that for the energy of the circle, for the energy of the choir to come to its completion. You can look around the circle and thank people. Maybe you've never seen their faces, maybe you don't know who they are, but you can thank their presence. And also notice that people from around the world are thanking your presence right now. So receive that gratitude as well. And then when the moment is right, we're going to start to use the breath to bring the attention to where you're sitting and use that breath to wake up the body a little bit. You can stretch it together with the breath. Moving your feet on the floor, moving where you're sitting, just making sure All of you is fully here, placing your hands on your face and rubbing it. Ah, thank you all for being here. This was a beautiful resonance in the field. I loved feeling all of you bringing your presence into the circle, singing to the whales. I'm sorry about the quality of the whale recording, but I wanted that one specific because it was recorded just now in December. So it's like as fresh as it gets. And it was recorded by Divine Dolphin, Sierra in Costa Rica. And she does beautiful retreats there with humpback whales there as well. So thank you all for being a part of this, and we're gonna send the recording out with the links to Maya's website, my website. Check people are gonna get the recording on Marie's YouTube, and I am really, really grateful to be here on the planet at this time. It feels like 2024 is a very powerful year, and I hope you all have a lot of fun in the next 10 days, as this window of the solstice of the Christmas is the window of dreaming deeply this year to come. So I hope you all have a lot of beautiful, beautiful dreams, as we call them, about the next year. I hope to see, I know I'll see some of you in person next year. So I'm looking forward to hugging you in the physical. Feel free to stop me by if you see me somewhere. Fun story. We were in Egypt this year in a random temple, and somebody said, "Are you the guy that does the whale events online?" So you never know where you're gonna meet me. So if you do see me somewhere, just say that and we're gonna hug and laugh about it. And that was really funny in a random temple in Egypt. So you're invited to come join us for the retreats or any other place we travel to. I, yeah, Kirsten said, remember to wish them happy holidays. So have happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thank you, Maya, again. If you wanted to say anything, you can unmute yourself. I'm so grateful you're a part of this gathering.
Yeah, this was so beautiful. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for your presence and your energy. I felt it was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yay. Blessings. Have a safe flight tomorrow, Maya.
Today, thank you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna officially stop the recording, and then I'll stay online for 5 to 10 more minutes just to look at your chat box and see if there's any questions. Okay, so to all of you watching the recording, aloha, happy holidays, happy Merry Christmas, all of it. Aloha. Thank you for being with us.